You hear that, David? That's the sound of bumping insurrection, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, welcome to the East Side Dave Show, End of Time Skype Series, Volume 11. That's right. Now, without further ado, let's throw it over to your host. Oh, there he is. And my good buddy, Mr. Eastside David McDonald, baby. Fight the power, baby.
Okay. Thank you very much, Roy.
David, I've been thinking about doing this. I've been thinking about doing this show in as a sign of solidarity, maybe blacking out my camera.
Will you please, for Christ's sakes, some of us attended a protest recently, and I know that you and those who are like you might
start them.
Okay, so by the way, I have a little conspiracy theory before we get into how true the Eastside Dave Show End of Times Skype series is, because we absolutely fucking branded it End of Times. I have trademarked Armageddon. I have copyrighted the apocalypse, baby. And I have fucking put all the rights to Book of Revelation. So we own all of that, Roy. So we stand to make a lot of money when the world starts blowing up, baby. Lots of cash, me and you. And as always, I'm going to split it. 80% me, 20% Roy Hart. Actually, 5.5% Roy Harder. We're giving Steve and Garrett their 7% that they're due.
Right. It's okay, David. You know me. I'll figure out a way how to chip you out of it at the end anyway.
My conspiracy, that's sadly true. My conspiracy theory is that Big Shot, is that the smart shot, Roy Harder, was saying, you were going to go in. You remember last week when you were defiant. You said, I will be in the Compound Media studio. My conspiracy theory is that God himself actually heard your boasts and said, oh, really? You thought you could go down in a pandemic? We're doubling down now with some fucking crazy-ass, race war, essentially, or societal breakdown. How about that?
Fair enough. You can call it whatever you will. I call it
for the record, am on the side of George Floyd. And to show my solidarity with my African-American brothers and sisters, I went to the protest in Asbury Park, New Jersey. Now, and there you are smiling. There you are. Because look at you with the American flag and the Randy Quaid beard. You might as well be in some sort of weird Long Island militia that belongs to you and, the boss, the guy who runs our network, and you two are stockpiling weapons. But some of us care. Look, I'm just going to say this. I understand that the Eastside Dave Show is not, this show is your respite for the outside world. It's your little fantasy island for the outside world. So we're not going to spend the entire episode on this, but it's something I got to get off my chest a little bit, if you don't mind, Roy Harder. Or shall I say, Führer Harder? Yes. Scheiße too. Scheiße!
So what's on your mind, David?
You know what? In New Jersey, they asked there's 21 counties in New Jersey. They asked all 21 county sheriffs, is what the cops did to George Floyd murder. All 21, 100%. 21 out of 21 said, that's 100% murder. Not only lock him up, lock the other 3 dudes up, and throw away the key. And they were flat out pissed. And this is what I don't get, like the people who just, they see things in terms of just, there's no gray area. They never allow for nuance. They never allow for layers.
There's only 2 colors, David. Remember that. There's black and there's white. There's no room for nuance.
There is room for gray. I know you're being facetious, but the audience at home probably, you're getting a lot of approval points in the South right now. Like, God damn it! I always knew Roy Harder was the truth telling one of the show.
That's right.
I always knew Roy Harder made lots of fucking sense.
He made sense, that one.
This is a guy who thinks hitting a home run is a hockey term. I want to put that out. But the point is, all 21, 100% said it was murder. And the reason why they said it is because, as police officers, they say, anytime one of these fuckheads does something like this, a heinous, evil, immoral act, the shit comes down at us.
Of course
all
it does.
good cops, the shit. And just as I'm saying I'm allowing for nuance, I'm allowing for good police, for Christ's sakes. I know some. But at the same time, I'm allowing for bad police. I know some. And if you go to the point of fucking murder, just because you're a cop does not excuse you. I went to the protest in Asbury Park to remain very focused. It was called the Justice for George Floyd rally. And I said, obviously, something I can get behind. I'm also, and despite any jokes and satire and comedy content that might be of a sometimes out there, over the top type of way, I think people get that Roy and I'm going to leave Roy out. I'm
with you too, David. I stand with you, David. I stand with you.
I'm for equality. I'm for people all getting along, as Rodney King said. And I will say one last thing. Because, there were times where I was like, I don't want to also be looked at as like a bandwagon person. And this is going to sound crazy, but as you know, on, let's see, let me do the math here. By this Saturday, it'll be 2 months since my dad died. Okay, 2 months this Saturday. Because, this Saturday's the 6th. I know, it still feels very, very raw and very recent to me.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but when that happens, you contemplate and you think about a lot. Okay, Roy, thankfully you haven't been in that position yet. I don't know how you, someone who looks like he's 98 years old, still has his both parents with him. I mean, God bless. I want the Harder. I want Furloin Harder and Fuhrer Harder to be around and to be chanting, "Kickins the goals rising, scoring the seconds." That was what your dad used to say when at your soccer recreation games. Your very German dad would scream at you to score the goal, right?
Of course, they would score on the goal, and he would run right up and down the sidelines, and I'd watch him in sheer embarrassment as he would.
And I mean, I can't imagine a little American child having to deal with a full-on German man screaming, "Scoring the goal!"
No, that part was easy, David. It was the armband that he always made me wear. That made me feel very uncomfortable.
We're going to ignore that comment. And the point is, due to my reflecting of my dad and stuff, it's like, I talked about it 2 months ago when it happened on the East Side Dave Show End of Time Skype series. I think that was volume 3, perhaps, but I'm not exactly sure. And I think I said, he actually took the President Kennedy thing of ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. He took that to heart, okay? And he literally went to Africa for the Peace Corps, volunteered getting clean water and stuff to African villages. That's what the guy did. And that's one of the things that I'm extremely proud of. I'm also proud of the fact that he was proud of being from Newark, New Jersey, which had peaceful protests.
I mean, David, honestly, your dad's a great guy. I mean, even, for example, if I went to Africa, I would probably start a militia. That just goes to show you how good your dad actually was,
Not helping is the point. You're not helping me now. And so Daddy, he was proud from Newark, to be from Newark, New Jersey, and a North Jersey guy. Then they moved to Nutley, which is weird because that's where our wrestling events are. But staying focused on the fact that Newark was peaceful, right? Asbury Park, I was there yesterday, right? From 5 to 8. Okay, that's when the protest, the official rally, Justice for George Floyd, took place. Okay, it was great. It was welcoming. It was good vibes. It was peaceful. And then like somewhere like at 7 o'clock, we just literally took to the streets, marched very peacefully. No one was yelling at cops, spitting on cops. It was, look, we're just looking for equality. Just let's just change these things. And then, so then people are citing, well, you see, look at what happened in Asbury Park. 12 people were arrested. I'm like, the people fucking saying this, do they have any idea that in Belmar and in Asbury Park, but also in Point Pleasant, lots of places where there are lots of white people, every weekend, every summer, every weekend, 30 people get arrested. Fucking meatheads who come down from North Jersey who get into fights with people, including cops. Yes,
of course. Yeah, sure.
My point is that that the protest in Asbury Park was 100% peaceful, and to describe it any other way is a fucking lie because I was there. And what I'm saying is this: people can dwell on these arrests and shit, and they can. And I understand that there's a lot of looting in New York City. It's disgusting. It is. What I'm saying is, do you not have any thought of what's happening here? Do you not see that the vast majority of people, because I saw it, I felt it, and I was there and I witnessed it. When I say vast majority, I'm talking 99% of the people that and the crowd was in the thousands, were cool and chill and peaceful, right?
Yes, David, I believe
that there is a 1% obviously who are troublemakers.
Yes.
Whether they're anarchists, chaos, they're for the chaos, extremists from the left, from the right.
Yes.
They're there. But let's not get so everyone is now, not everyone, but the people who are really taking their eye off the prize are look at these goddamn protesters. Is it protesting by sneaking into a sneaker store and all this? It's those aren't the fucking protesters, moron. The fucking protesters are the ones kneeling, or they have the signs. Those are just assholes. And we're all in agreement that those fucking George Floyd's family is in agreement. They said, what are you doing? If you protest, speak about it, chant about it, march about it. But don't fucking cause destruction. That comes from... So we're all in agreement, including the guy who was murdered in broad daylight. His family is in agreement. But I do find it a little frustrating when I go to Twitter or whatever, and I see people, these protesters. Look at how badly they're acting. You don't fucking know shit. Wake up. Those aren't the protesters.
That's right.
All right,
it's bad apples, David. You feel a little bit better getting that off your chest?
I do. It's I'm thinking about all this shit. With my dad dead and stuff, and I'm thinking, what would he have done? Because I do happen to know for a fact in 2003, when he was very much against the Iraq War, he marched in New York City against it. Now, at the time, very unpopular, right? However, by the time George W. Bush went out of White House in 2008, 90% of Americans agreed that the war in Iraq was a mistake. Not Afghanistan, not going after Al-Qaeda, not going after bin Laden, but Iraq. We don't allow ourselves, and I constantly am wondering if it's social media's influence that literally, because people have to do such short messages on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, that I'm wondering if people can't allow for complexities and shit. You can be for bombing the fuck out of Al-Qaeda and killing bin Laden, but also saying, well, hold on, before we commit to Iraq with all these guys, maybe we should think about it. And you can be saying, hey, the police, there are good cops. We need to help them out by revamping the rules, because the rules are clearly fucked. Don't you think, or no?
Oh, of course the rules are fucked up. But I'm just trying to figure out where you're going with this.
I'm going nowhere. I told you, I got to get some things off my fucking chest.
Oh, okay, good. Then you keep going, David. I got your back on this.
Where I'm going with it is, why can't, the people, well, I'll just say like it is. If you're not a black guy or a black woman, maybe take a little bit to just breathe and think, analyze, reflect before you got to go out and put in your 2 bits, your 2 cents of your thing. Because to me, this seems like a very easy problem to understand. A guy was killed in broad daylight by some scumbag cops. Those cops need to go to jail.
Yeah.
The problem is that
I think they have been, in fact, convicted, David. I think
the other 3 as well.
I believe so.
Okay, because I've been checking the news, and then I heard 5 minutes before we did the show today that maybe the other 3 are got indicted, but I wasn't able to follow up.
Oh, I did not. I haven't been following up on the other 3. I was just following up on the guy.
No, that guy's been charged. That guy was charged last week. But there are 4 guys that the police authorities, around America are saying. So this is my point. You have the police. I guess where I'm going with this is this.
Yeah.
Allow for nuance. Allow for some complicated things. The murder of George Floyd was clearly wrong.
Yeah.
At the same, and things need to change. I've been talking about,
David, let me ask you this. What do you think would be a good, smart change to instill at this time? Because
I've been saying this for years. You want me to fucking solve the problem right now? I will. In the same way that people go to a culinary school or whatever, or you can, you go to school. A police officer, you graduate high school, you can't join the cops. You go to a 4-year, a true police academy. We're not talking the goddamn Steve Gutenberg horse shit, where it's all, razzle dazzle. Bobcat Goldthwait won't be there. Okay.
Yeah. What about Hightown?
No, we're talking about something that is similar. Obviously not as difficult to get into, and maybe it's even like a community college type of level. But it's a 4-year school in the way that, say, a military guy wants to go to West Point. Okay? In the way that different people go and complete 4 years and they get educated. You could even make this for free. Honestly, you can make it a state, university type thing. But it's a 4-year school where you get trained as a cop. You learned all kind of de-escalation tactics, but you also get educated. Maybe you get educated about the history of the police in America. Maybe you get educated about, different riots in urban environments and shit like this. But I guarantee you will find that the people who really want to be police officers to protect the peace, they will attend these schools. They will graduate. They will be good cops. And the people who are just looking to crack some skulls, they're not going to make it. They'll be fucking out of there by the first semester because they're not going to want to do the work. They're not serious about it. They're serious about fucking getting a gun. And again, I'm not talking about good cops. I'm talking about these bad cops. Let's just say this, what was his name? Derek Chauvin or whatever the fuck his name is? The bad cop. What's his name? Does anyone know?
I don't even know his name.
That's his name, Derek Chauvin?
I believe that's how you say it, yeah.
All right. Well, this guy, okay, let's just use him as an example. You can't tell me you could take 2 seconds at fucking looking at that meathead and understand that this guy gets off on fucking pushing people around and beating people. He shot a guy in the chest 12 years ago, by the way. I don't know how he's still a cop. But anyway, the guy was in the bathroom with a cigarette, shot him in the chest. But anyway, the point is this, okay? That guy wouldn't make it. He wouldn't. But the good cops, they would. And then our fucking entire society would be. That's just one change I would make.
I'll have to disagree with you there. I've always been against this whole education versus credentialized mode of education. I don't think it's going to help us in any way by sending cops to a longer school. I think what needs to happen is I think they need to hire more black cops and have them patrol black communities. I think
it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to demand that the community you patrol, you have to live in.
I don't see why that's not. I'm sure there's a very, very valid reason for this being a policy.
Well, because because if you make a certain amount of money, maybe you want to, you're basically saying to the guy, well, now you can't leave that community. The guy's like, well, I've saved all this money. I want to go to this neighborhood over here. Well, you can't. But they have to figure that out. They have to then have him transfer him and be a police officer in that community he moves to. But then instantly, have someone in that community give them their spot. But Roy, I would say this: while I sort of agree with what you're saying, not every educational institution. It's sort of like I can somewhat see what you're saying. We ask our doctors to go to fucking a lot of school, okay?
Sure, and veterinarians, I might add.
Well, that's my point, Roy. Is that we should be the police officers, as we all see, play an important role, and sometimes it just like a doctor, like a surgeon, It's a matter of a life and death situation. So if you're asking a doctor to go to all this schooling, someone who else can be dealing with a life or death. And again, this is not, I really want to be clear, this isn't me like anti-cop. It's just pro, all this stuff it's such a bad look for our country in general, It's a bad look. We can't fucking claim to be this great country with all these, you put your mind to it and this and that, and you can accomplish whatever you want when you still have these problems. And to me, these problems are very fixable. And then once we have that, there's no stopping.
I think a lot of these problems actually stem from within the black community themselves. I think.
Oh, God damn.
Well, no, listen. I know this is not a popular opinion, but I do know that every problem, there are two sides to the story, and there is always shared blame between both sides. So I think there needs to be.
Yes. But let me just say, this case wasn't about that. When you have every law enforcement officer in the country,
this particular case is not about that. However, this solution is about that.
Well, okay, maybe use the word responsibility than blame.
Well, no, I mean, shared responsibility is shared blame. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to agree to disagree on whatever. Wait, so what's your point?
My point is that there's blame on both sides, and these people that are rioting are in the wrong and are doing illegal things, and they need to be punished.
Yes, they are. But that's why this issue is very, very difficult to understand, comprehend, and even discuss sometimes, because there's just so many layers. But my point is that those people are not the protesters. As someone who's seen it, they're not. They are there to cause trouble. They are there to fuck shit up. They are angry, or if not, they're just simply there to get their rocks off by starting fires and looting and burning cars. But they are not the true blue protesters. And those people that you mentioned, they're not just black, Roy. I saw people who are white on the news setting fires and breaking windows and shit like that. I'm just saying.
I never said black
people. If we're gonna say, talk about responsibility.
Yeah, I put the blame on the rioters. I didn't say I put the blame on blacks or whites for that matter. I put the blame on the rioters. And when I say rioters, I don't mean the protesters.
I know what you mean.
Two things happening here that I think people are starting to get it all mixed up and starting to lose focus.
Oh yeah, that's why this thing has become clusterfuck central. I mean, This is such a bizarre big topic. It's not even fun, because I believe that there's also a segment of people who are just pissed off at simply, how they can't get ahead, how rents have skyrocketed, gas prices have skyrocketed, your phone bills skyrocketed.
The reason people can't get ahead is because they're not educating themselves, and this is a problem. The problem is that we're not educating our youth. We're not helping them to see the bigger picture and how to get out of these situations that they're in. And a lot of times what they're doing is they're focusing a lot of these communities focus their respect and their attention on people that don't deserve it, on people that they perceive as being wealthy or powerful, when in actuality they're not. What we need to do is we need to change that.
No, I hear what you're saying.
People that deserve it, like the fathers and the business owners and the people in the communities that are making stuff happen, and not the athletes and the rappers and the God knows what else these people are worshiping.
What about talk show hosts? Can they still look up to talk show hosts?
Actually, yeah, because a talk show host is a person that I think has done it honorably and made it through the fruits of their hard labor. David, white or black, doesn't matter.
That's me. Everything you said, honor. That's me. Well, yeah. I mean, what I was just saying was more along the lines of I think there is a lot of greed from a lot of corporations. I mean, I'll never forget the fact that I had, when I was employed for SiriusXM, full-time employee, had the biggest health, benefit that I could afford for someone who was making $37,000 at SiriusXM. Now,
Yeah.
SiriusXM would brag all the time about, we're making billions this quarter and this quarter and this quarter. And I would ask for a raise that I deserved, a raise that's fair. I was doing a lot of work, and I deserved, modestly. I was modestly asking for, give me, $55,000 to $60,000. I deserve that. And they came back with nothing. And by the way, that was important because the healthcare, my son, who had cyclical vomiting syndrome from when he was a baby to about 3 years old, he would throw up so much that he would actually run out of oxygen, would turn blue. So I would have to take him in the middle of the night to the ER. And we did this a dozen times.
I remember.
And the bills amassed to something insane, like $50,000. And they're asking me to pay this. And you're saying, I'm a full-time employee. A, I get paid peanuts for my full-time job, but B, I have a health plan. Why am I owing $1, let alone $50,000? Well, he had an emergency room. He was suffocating on his own puke. So this is why, and I know we're way tangential, but my point is, this is a perfect storm. This is a mix of a lot of people. This is people out of work. This is people with the pandemic frustration. This is people sick and tired of working their asses off, and they can't save, more than $100 a month. And you could say, well, they can be educated. I have a fucking college education. I've got all these things. It's hard sometimes to make ends meet. I had to get pay cuts with my radio station. The fucking healthcare system's out of control. So it's like, but meanwhile, everything else is skyrocketing. Every Verizon bill, every healthcare bill, every fucking car payment, just going up and up and up. And we're not making more money as Americans.
Yeah, now, hey, listen, this is where it comes to you as an individual, as a man, as an American, to stand up for yourself and demand equal pay, demand equal rights to the women out there. You should be getting paid as much as a woman does your job, David.
Okay, I'm glad you're. Look, if anyone is still watching the Eastside Dave show today, I thank you, and we'll get into the fun stuff now. So I don't know what my point was. Maybe my point was simply that I'm as confused and fucked mentally with the pandemic, the pay cuts, the lack of cash, and now this incredibly important societal issue. It's enough to make one say, I have no idea what to think or what I'm talking about anymore. I do know one thing. All my point was the guy, George Floyd, was murdered by those cops. Everyone is in agreement of this. When even Rush Limbaugh is saying it was murder, it's murder. And the point is that they need to do something with the cops. They need to fix some of these systems. You had an idea. I had an idea. They need to fix these things. And then we have to evolve and get a little bit better here. And I guess that was my whole fucking point. But, and that the protests, the protest I at least attended and witnessed was a fantastic experience. Did some knuckleheads. When the protest technically was over, because it was 5 to 8. And then the arrest, if you look on the thing, it's 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. So when actual protest was over, let's not say, oh, look at these protesters. Look at what they're doing now. Those weren't the protesters, man. Those are fucking assholes.
Well, who's lying to you then, David? It sure as hell ain't me. Sounds like the media's lying to you, buddy.
I didn't accuse you of lying to me, but you're so defensive. Maybe you are lying to me. Let me see those fucking eyeballs of yours. Let me see if you mean what you say. Are you? Oh, look at those beady eyeballs. You know what? Smart
What's
guy.
that, David?
You know what? Smart shot. Here's a way we can end this very heated topic. In fact, maybe this is a way we just determine anything in America anymore. Yeah. And that is an impromptu championship stare down contest starting right now. Garrett, did you see him blink?
Saw it, Dave. Congratulations.
Wait, I'm not allowed to blink?
It's a stare down contest, duty.
I
We'll
thought I
do
wasn't
two
allowed
out
to
of
look away.
Look.
Oh, I didn't realize I wasn't allowed to blink. That changes everything. Give me another shot here.
Listen.
Put me back in, coach.
For good sportsmanship, and in the interest of racial, socio-economic, and political equality for all, I will give you, you little maggot, I will give you a second chance. It's 2 out of 3 right now.
Here we go.
Starting right now. I blinked. Timeout. I blinked.
Okay. This is going to be easy, David. I have a natural ability to remove my eyeballs from my tear ducts.
See, Garrett and Steve, I forgot that Roy's one of those reptilian people that Alex Jones talks about. So
That's
I
correct.
shouldn't have challenged him. Yeah.
He's cold-blooded.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit.
Cold-blooded is right. All right. You ready? This is going to take all of that.
Okay, Roy. This is it. No fucking around. Hold on. I got to get my tears. I got to get everything all prepared. Okay. All right. Okay. Starting right now. Oh my God, I lost.
David, this is not even fun. It's too easy. I feel like I'm playing with...
Congratulations on the win.
I always win, David.
I'm actually a little bit pissed off that I lost that. Fight the power. To continue this lightening of the mood, let's go to Larry, the sock puppet, who I don't know. I'm not sure where we are in the opus of Larry. We know that he's upset. We then know that he had befriended another puppet called Louisa, the sock puppet. We know that it appears that he murdered her. To replace her, he invented this Bobo, the sock puppet. I believe Bobo the sock puppet has been pissing off Larry, and I believe Larry gave him an ultimatum: pay me $2,000 by today, June 2nd, or something bad would happen to Bobo the sock puppet. But I believe now we're caught up on the opus. So,
yes, thank you, David.
Oh, hi, Dave and the boy. How are you doing? I was watching East Side Dave.
Hold on, it's all frozen on your screen.
Yeah, okay, good. Well, thank you for telling me. I was looking at like the dog from RCA.
I thought he was doing stop motion. I thought it was his big idea of stop motion.
Well, I wasn't sure if this was like an avant-garde, film noir that Andrew was going for. He has actually stepped up his cinematography and whatnot, his cinematic storytelling. He's been using sound effects,
set design,
set design scores, lots of special effects. Is the video frozen entirely, or
we're trying to pull it up on another computer? We just need a second to download it again.
All right, Roy, stretch for a second.
Yeah.
Stretch.
Hey, listen. Speaking of cops, where does Keith stand on all this? He was a former cop. What's his opinion on this whole thing? I'm just kind of curious.
Keith is for George Floyd. His last tweet was that when cops act like this in a corrupt way, they besmirch. And this is the same thing I was saying about the New Jersey guys. They besmirch the name of all the good cops, and they make the good cops targets. And so Keith, the cop, is against the cops who did this. They killed a guy in broad daylight. There's no getting around it. And I just think that people want hard, strict, and swift justice. But you were supposed to lighten up the mood. How about this? Next time I say, Roy, stretch, you go, ah! You like that? Yeah. That's kind of like a Naked Gun type of thing. Hold on, let's maybe I can use it in a second. Garrett, how much time till that Big A video?
A few more seconds if you could get Roy to stretch.
Roy, stretch.
Oh, so where are we at with this final solution, David?
That's not how you stretch. I don't want any improv from you. I give you the fucking direction, pal. I'm the Kubrick of this goddamn project.
Oh, I'm stretching, buddy. I can't hear you. My ears are covered.
You think you're Malcolm McDowell being able to fucking improv shit. I'm like, just do it as it says on the page. No, just give me a...
Oh, where's my crown for the staring
Where's
king
your-
competition? There it is.
We are not, no one is, Garrett, do not give Roy a crown for winning that stupid, and we're going to do that next week, because this is something that will bother me for 7 whole days. Because I don't like to lose.
Terrible times, David. Terrible times. But I'm glad I have you to make me laugh, buddy. I'm glad you're there to make me happy and laugh.
You know, I agree. You know, like I said, I just had I had a feeling that when we called it the End of Time Skype series, we were on to something.
Oh yeah, we're almost there, buddy.
Almost.
What?
We need like one crazy threat. What we need is if the president starts to threaten like a country. Like one crazy threat like that, like, hey, shut up, Russia, or we'll nuke the fuck out of you. And that's all we need. And then that's it. That's the last thing that we need. You know that's it. Like we're just hanging by a thread. I swear.
But you want to know? I'll tell you something, David. There's one thing I do know. As crazy as I am,
please don't.
That we will survive this, and we will overcome this as a nation. And we will come out of this stronger, more powerful, more race-related than ever.
More race-related? What this shit does any of that mean?
I mean, more race-conscious. You know, we'll be much more conscious of everyone's race.
I don't think we want that. Wait, so you're actually talking about profiling, essentially. Race-conscious. Yeah, there's plenty of guys, people who are race-conscious, and then they pull over the black guy because they're so race-conscious. I think what you're trying to say is equality.
That's it, David. Equality. Equality. Thank you. Yeah. See? You're a good man, a good orator, David. You speak the mind of the people.
I believe it. As soon as and think of it like this. Think of it in terms of what we do. As soon as we get equality, everyone's going to lighten up again. You're going to be able to have fun humor, even, dare I say, politically incorrect humor, over-the-top satire. You're going to have that shit. Because when people are feeling good about themselves, when the society's feeling good, we're loosey-goosey, baby. We're fun. Americans are fun when we're feeling good. So I actually think it's good for even what we do.
Of course it is, David. Look at us, a couple gingers here having a good time making people laugh. It's important.
Listen to me. There's 1.5 ginger sitting here. Okay, I'm a 1. You're a half. Let's be honest.
I got a 1.5 ginger sitting in my beard there, buddy.
Look at you with your hat off. Most people aren't going to think that you're a ginger. Me? I mean, there's no mistake in it. That's why, Roy, at the protest yesterday at Asbury Park, I made sure to really not fucking step out of line and act like a dick. Because 7,000 people could go nuts. And if I jaywalked, the redheaded guy would be the fucking guy because I stood out like a fucking unicorn yesterday in that crowd. So I was like, I'm just going to, there were a couple of these, there was some head, and then that's it. I kept, minded my P's and Q's. All right, do we have that big A thing? Here it is.
Oh, hi,
here we go.
Dave and
volume,
boy.
For Christ's sakes.
How
now you don't have the volume, Garrett, for crying out loud.
I can hear him loud and clear,
I
buddy.
was watching
Garrett just goes, oh, yeah.
East Side Dave show last week. And what the...
Stop it.
All right, Roy, looks like you're going to have to stretch some more.
I'll be honest with you, David. I heard that clip loud and clear.
Go, Roy. This is our new gimmick. Roy, you're going to have to stretch.
Oh, yeah. Stretching, buddy. Just give it a little stretch there. Dave, can I improv a little bit here?
Yeah.
I want to stretch and kind of pull a coffee mug out.
Serious gourmet shit.
There we go. How's that, huh?
Was your whole purpose just to plug that Pulp Fiction coffee mug? I noticed it was perfectly looking at the camera.
Oh, no, honestly, David, that was not my intention, but now that you mention it, there it is. I got this from a fan. He sent it to you, and I stole it.
You piece of shit. That's because I do the world's best Quentin Tarantino impression, specifically from that scene in Pulp Fiction with the serious gourmet shit.
Dave,
Have you been visiting Compound? Have you been visiting Compound Media and stealing the shit that fans send me?
Sometimes. A lot of boxes with your name on it, David. The ones that aren't taken.
No,
including
that one, and he told me he was going to send that.
Yeah.
You want to hear the scene? You want me to do the scene real quick?
Yeah, while I'm stretching here, buddy, go for it.
Okay, well, don't make any noise because this has got to be me. Damn, Jimmy, that's some good coffee. Don't tell me how good my coffee is, Julie, okay? I'm the one who fucking buys it, all right? Bonnie buys shit, okay? I gotta make some calls. You gotta get some people over here. Then you do it. And you get the fuck out of my house.
Bravo, David.
You like that?
I love it, buddy. That's a good one.
Now hold on. Let's see if I can go 2 for 2. Okay?
Yeah.
Richard Dreyfuss. Chief, I didn't know what you'd be eating, so I brought red or white. Now, Mr. Mayor Vaughn, I want you to take a good look at that billboard. Those proportions are correct. And this was not a boating accident. This was a shark. Come on.
Bravo, David. Bravo.
Which one did you like better?
I definitely like the second one better. The
Richard
shark
Dreyfuss.
guy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll bring Richard Dreyfuss back. Okay.
Yeah,
maybe
definitely. You want to hear me recite some?
If you remind me, I'll write something for Richard Dreyfuss for next week. And next week, you're doing your fucking tiger power guy.
Roy Horny, White Tiger Supremacist.
Roy Horny, White Tiger Supremacist. All right, do we have this big egg fucking thing? If not, let's just go to Stevie.
So we're having to play the video from the computer you're on. So I could try something. We'll see if you could hear it. And if not, we might have to skip the videos. So.
Oh, no! All videos, the Eastside Dave Showcast, they're going to be pissed at us.
Yeah.
All right.
Just play it from yours.
Roy, you're going to have to be the one to let those people know. Because I can't be, please.
Okay, David, go for it. Play the video and I shall translate it.
Let me know if you can hear this.
Oh, hi, Dave and Roy.
Hi, David. Hello, Roy.
No.
Doing?
How you doing?
Stop it. Let's not get too fucking crazy. Obviously, you don't need to translate it because we can hear it now.
Well, I was going to sign it for you, David. I thought that's what you were looking for me to do.
No, I just want to watch Andrew's video. They did all the work. We don't need you repeating what Andrew said 3 seconds later.
My bad, David. I'll sit back here in the darkness.
Eastside Dave show last week, and what the fuck was Bobo talking about? He barely caused a video for the show. Then he says such bullshit. I was not lying, alright? Shut the fuck up, Bobo, and give me the $2,000 you owe me. I don't have $2,000. You're as useless as tits on a bull, Bobo. That's not true, Larry. I've had enough of you, Bobo.
Oh no!
It falls off his hand.
I don't know. This feels dark. Oh god!
I have to go now.
I have to go. So Bobo the puppet just got murdered live.
Yeah. Sounds like he went right into that grinder, buddy.
All right, let's get to these quick. Let's go with Robert. Do we have Robert's video ready? Go.
This is going to be gold, I guarantee it.
Hey everyone, Rob checking in. Sorry if the audio's not great. I'm in the bathroom at work, but that's how dedicated I am to this shit. Pun fully intended. Dave, don't listen to Roy. I know he's not trying to sabotage you, but the man's never played sports. He doesn't understand a streak. Don't come in the studio now, baby. You're too hot. He doesn't realize you were a Little League world champion and that you understand how a streak works. You probably haven't even changed your underwear since. Dave, I need help though. Work is open. I'm being forced to run the bikes department, even though I'm less qualified to repair bikes than Bobo is to drive a UPS truck. I guess what I'm saying is, help me, David McDonald. You're my only hope. Get me out of here. I love you, Dave. I love you, Roy. I miss you all.
All right, Roy. I might have to hire Robert as a butler.
That's pretty impressive, huh? How did he use that? Did he lose all his hair for that app, or did he shave it off on purpose?
No, that's the light. When the
Oh, I thought he was balding quickly.
the spotlight, it comes down very hard.
Man,
Well, then no one thinks you have hair, yeah.
I highly recommend bald men stay out of the spotlight, David.
Yeah, I don't think he's bald, Roy, and he was clearly, that was a cry for help. I don't think that you calling him bald is going to help Robert's confidence right now. You're not exactly a Mr. Ego Boost, are you?
No, actually, I should be very good with Robert because he is on my side, and he has supported me in numerous ways the last couple weeks, which I won't go into.
Yeah, I know exactly how you'll go into a little this,
Yeah,
a little this, a little that.
yeah.
So you're having Robert drive from Pennsylvania to drop you off.
I told Robert the intern to tell Flutzy that I was officially the new boss of Compound Media. I bought Keith out, and Robert was in agreement with it. So he's been telling Flutzy that I'm now Anthony's partner. Just so you know.
That's fucking hysterical.
Hey, Roy, can I get a raise?
You know what? You know what? There's a man who deserves one. Give
Thanks.
yourself a raise. 10%,
Sweet.
buddy. Cost of living.
Awesome. Thanks, Roy. You're the best boss ever.
Yeah, you know it. You know it. Don't forget to tell everyone.
I will, Steve. Roy's the best boss ever.
See how it's done, Dave?
Hey, boss. How you doing
Yo.
today?
I'm doing fantastic, Steve.
I heard you were handing out raises. What's that about?
That's complete bullshit.
Oh, okay.
You don't think
It's
Steve
easy.
deserves a raise?
I can run a network. This is no
You don't
joke.
think Steve deserves a raise?
I think Steve would probably deserve a raise. But that being said, I would give Garrett a raise first. He's got the seniority there, so he would definitely get a bit of a bump first. I'd give Steve an 8%. I'd give Garrett the 10%.
What about Davey Mack over here? I'm talking to you about me, with the pay cuts. I could use a little fucking subsidizing here.
You're getting a 25% contract raise, pay grade above the board, all situations accounted for. In other words, I'm giving you hazard pay, David.
Hazard pay?
Hazard pay. Yes, you put your life and you put my life in danger every time we do this show. So that's hazard pay, buddy.
Okay, well, that's good. All right. So, Robert, do you think it would be a good idea for me to allow Robert to move in to my apartment? He said I was his only hope, like an Obi-Wan Kenobi type of reference there, and I feel bad. Should I make him my butler?
I will tell you this. It is a genius idea, but you better make sure that you keep a video camera rolling, David, at all times, because this is going to be gold.
Well, now you have me questioning myself. Let's see Jimmy's video.
Oh, yes, Jimmy's the best.
And if it gets long, if Jimmy doesn't do him short, please don't tell me he sent in another 3.5-minute song.
It
No, I
also
don't know what
came
he
with a
says
little message.
Oh, hold on. Roy, Jimmy sent a message with his email. Okay.
It says,
I hear you, Jimmy.
Dear cousin Steve, I love you a lot. Thank you for being my friend. This is a video about, for today. Stay beautiful. I'm not gay. I love you, but I'm not gay. I think it was a poem.
That's better than any video that we're about to watch from Jimmy.
Yeah, let's go to the next video now.
But you know what? I'm glad that Steve is now having to fucking experience this nonsense, this serial killing fucking just lunacy that Jimmy, it's a schizophrenic vibe where, All right, let's check out Jimmy for a sec.
Stevie, are you our boss now? Are you high? You go into our messenger chat rooms and act as a boss on high. Your tone is kind, you take your drugs, you sometimes mind when I give hugs online now. You come back with apologies, we don't trust you, so pretty please let me know who made you boss now. Dave, I wore a diaper. We played with fire. I thought I gave good content with my beautiful unique style. If Stevie is our boss right now, I think the cast will have a cow. Big A talks to me.
Okay, that wasn't so bad, Jimmy.
Bravo,
like
Jimmy.
All right.
Jimmy Garfunkel there.
They take it very, they take everything personally. Quite frankly, Stevie had some good suggestions. And last week, if you recall, Jimmy was sending me the video while we were live on the air. He was sending me his video. And it was buzzing my phone. It was buzzing my computer. We're obviously doing these shows on the computer.
Yeah, he's tweeting your Instagram.
Stevie took a little initiative just to say, hey, maybe try to get the videos in on Monday or Tuesday morning, Tuesday morning's even fine, like around 9 a.m. That's perfect. Yeah. But, we know we record these things at 1. So if you start fucking sending them at 1:08, then you're interrupting all this shit.
You're bottlenecking the internet.
I don't think, look, I think Stevie is just someone who has passion. That could rub some people the wrong way. There is no boss. There's no boss of me. And to a certain extent, Roy. To a certain extent, Roy. But I'm just saying, no, there's no boss of anybody else. Everyone's equal, I feel pretty equal with most of the people.
I don't consider any of you guys my property.
No, none.
No.
I just meant I feel like I'm mentally equal with almost everyone. Except Floatsy. But Bo, Big A, Jimmy, Stevie, Robert, Andrea, Roy, of course, Garrett and Steve. I feel like, we're all the same. Just not Floatsy. I mean, what the fuck? Dumb as a box of rocks. Am I right, Roy? Yeah. I mean, I know it's not popular to say, but, the cool thing about having a beard is we don't even have to move our lips when we talk. So you can just what do you think about Floatsy? I mean, no videos from Floatsy today, by the way. No video of her.
She can't help it. She can't help it. She's one of the darker ones, David. I saw you laughing, David.
Okay.
Good thing I didn't say anything there.
Let's end it with Stevie Lou. What's up, Stevie Lou? Oh, I like that. Oh no.
Oh boy.
Oh no. That's great. Okay. Oh, I love these.
That was great. I don't want it to end.
Uh-oh.
What? Would you still like me if I look like this?
No.
Okay, that's it. Turn it off. I'm too scared.
Wait, I don't know if you're supposed to see these, David.
Yeah, that was insane. Steve, if you can screen cap one goddamn photo, please. The Stevie Lou White Stripes parody, where he just sang that song, whatever, the 99 thing army or whatever.
99 Nation Army.
Yeah, that one.
99 armies and my bitch ain't one.
All right. Do you feel better? I feel better.
I feel much better, David. I feel like a
much
load
better.
has been lifted, and we solved a lot of the world's problems in this past hour.
If everyone just watched our show and dispersed it, because we don't always see 100% eye to eye on all of
be a very entertaining show.
Political things. I'm saying you and I,
but we do have one thing in common, David.
What?
We have a shared mutual respect for one another. There you are. Sorry. Shared mutual respect for one another. And that goes beyond any political affiliation that any human being can have, my friend.
That's well said. I'm not going to even add anything. If we can if American society can just, get along the way, I mean, clearly I don't trust Roy at all. I mean, look at this fucking guy.
If a Nazi and a ginger can get along, who's to say that the blacks and the whites and the police and the Israelis and the Hebrews and they can't get along either?
We can get along. We gotta try to figure it out. We can do it. It's easy. Come on, let's go. Let's get it done. And then once we get along, well, what people don't understand, we're gonna get back to fucking chuckling, laughing, and saying all kinds of inappropriate shit because everyone's gonna feel too good about themselves that they're gonna go back to laughing a little bit. So
and once we get back to laughing, we get back to making love. And once we get back to making love, we get back to making babies and getting on with life. Cocaine too, David.
I thought laughter, love, and coke.
Yeah. And
those
coke.
are the things.
Yeah.
That's how my parents met, Roy. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
Come over in the
okay, look. Let's get out of here. I would like to thank Garrett and Steve and Roy Harder and all of the Eastside Dave Show people for their fine videos, and we just had to let off a little steam with the what's going on in the society and shit. But I think we'll get back to a pretty normal program next Tuesday as well for the Eastside Dave Show End of Time Skype Series Volume 7. No, Volume 11. I'm Davey Mack. That's Roy Harder. Go ahead, Roy.
Damn, it's been a real fine day. Damn, it's been a real fine day. Ain't got the blues, ain't got time for bad news. 'Cause damn, it's been a real fine day. Damn, it's been a real fine day. From Long Island to West LA. No need to worry, 'cause I ain't in no hurry. Damn, it's been a real fine day. There's a whole lot of trouble out in this world, yeah, a whole lot of worry, whole lot of worry. Now that I had you come into my life, there's a whole lot of reason to sing. Damn, it's been a real fine day. Damn, it's been a real fine day. None of my new shoes, ain't no way we're gonna lose. Because damn, it's been a real fine day. Fight the power, David. I love you,
You're
brother.
good. You're good, yo. I'll see you next Tuesday.
Who took all the beer in here? Who did it? You alcoholic! All right, I'll have one with you.